Is President Trump making the world safer or more dangerous? Why did the U.S. bomb Iran? Is President Trump making the world safer or more dangerous? In June 2025, a major military event shocked the world. The United States bombed Iran. These attacks happened suddenly and were very serious. Many people around the world now ask, why did the U.S. attack Iran? What is happening now in Iran? Will this make the world safer or more dangerous? Let's look at this situation in a simple and clear way. Part 1. Why did the U.S. bomb Iran? There are three main reasons the U.S. government gave for the bombing. 1. Iran was a growing threat. The U.S. said it had strong intelligence reports that Iran was planning attacks on American bases, embassies, and even oil ships in the Persian Gulf. These plans were secret, but the U.S. said they had proof from satellites and spies. President Donald Trump said, "We acted before it was too late." This was a defensive strike. 2. Revenge for recent attacks. On May 28, 2025, a U.S. Navy ship in the Gulf was attacked by a drone, killing 7 American soldiers. The U.S. believes the drone came from a group supported by Iran. Just 2 days later, another American oil tanker was hit by a missile, injuring civilians. This caused public anger in the U.S., and many people called for action. 3. Political pressure in the U.S. President Trump is facing growing pressure at home. His approval ratings are falling. Many people blame him for economic problems, such as high gas prices and inflation. Some experts believe that launching a military action was a way to look strong and decisive before the 2026 U.S. elections. Part 2. What happened? During the bombing, the U.S. carried out a series of airstrikes on June 20th and 21. Targets included missile launch sites, rebel training camps, military communication bases, a site believed to be building nuclear weapons. The U.S. used fighter jets, drones, and long-range missiles. The attacks lasted 12 hours and were coordinated from U.S. bases in the Middle East. Result of the bombing: over 45 people killed, including soldiers and technicians. Several important buildings completely destroyed. Internet and phone networks in parts of Iran were shut down. Part 3. How did Iran react? Iran's leaders were angry and called the bombing a crime. They promised to fight back. In a speech, Iran's president said, "America has crossed the red line. We will answer with strength." Iran's possible responses: launch missile strikes on U.S. bases in Iraq or Syria. Use cyber attacks to damage American companies or systems. Block oil transport in the Strait of Hormuz, which could affect oil prices globally. Support proxy groups in other countries to attack American interests. Across Iran, huge protests broke out. People shouted slogans like, "Down with America! We will not stay silent." Part 4. How did the world react? 1. United Nations, UN response. The UN called for an emergency meeting. Many countries asked both sides to stay calm and avoid war. The UN Secretary General said, "This conflict could lead to a regional war. Diplomacy must come first." 2. European Union, EU. Leaders in Europe were very worried. They said the situation is dangerous for the world economy and peace. They asked the U.S. and Iran to stop fighting and start talking. 3. Oil prices went up. After the bombing, oil prices rose quickly. Many countries depend on oil from the Middle East, so any conflict affects the global economy. 4. Protests around the world. There were peace protests in many countries like Germany, Japan, Canada, and even in the US. People held signs that said, "No more war. Talk, don't bomb." Part 5. Is President Trump making the world safer or more dangerous? This is a serious question that people are now asking. There are two sides to this debate. Some say Trump is making the world safer. He showed that the U.S. will not stay silent when attacked. He stopped a possible bigger attack before it happened. Other enemies may now be afraid to attack the U.S. Others say Trump is making the world more dangerous. Bombing another country without talking first can start a war. It can lead to more terrorist attacks around the world. Iran may now feel it has no choice but to hit back. Some experts say Trump acts too fast and doesn't listen to advice. He often says, "I trust my gut." But in international politics, many believe careful planning and diplomacy are better than bombs. Final thought. Right now the world is watching carefully. People hope that both countries stop before it's too late. War brings only pain, death, and fear. Peace talks are difficult, but they are always better than bombs. Was this session helpful? Please comment and subscribe for more interesting stories. Thanks for listening. See you for next episode.